This is the 231st episode of CloudFocus Weekly for the third week of October 2015. This episode is titled Built for the Future. CloudFocus Weekly is brought to you by the Permissioner, by Arkus. Mass assign and revoke Salesforce permission sets. It truly is permission sets made easy. Available free on the App Exchange, or get into your DeLorean and head back in time to check it out at thepermissioner.com. I'm your host, Jason Howard, and joining me, co-host on this very special day, probably your second favorite day of the year, of maybe the last 15 years, 20 years, Justin Elsing. Justin, how you doing today?
Hey, I'm good. I just arrived from 1985.
So
it was instantaneous to me, but it's been 30 years for you.
Let's do a, first of all, let's dive into, since we have really nothing to talk about, let's dive into your favorite movie of all time.
Back to the Future?
Back to the Future.
Yeah.
Which it is, right?
Today's the day, October 21st, 2015.
This is the day.
Today's the day, although doesn't look like the Cubs are going to win the World Series.
Nope.
Looks like the Schmats are taking care of business right now.
And there's a fun video on comedy something. It's not Comedy Central. It's
Comedy Central?
No, it's not Comedy Central. Anyway,
Comedy Central.
It's not Comedy Central.
Oh. Is it Comedy Central?
No, It is not. It's funny about what would happen now? Like, he arrived now because now is the day. So what we're talking about? So Back to the Future, for all of you who might not have known this. Today is Back to the Future Day because this is the day in the movie that Marty goes ahead to with Doc. They set it to
Don't forget Jennifer.
And Jennifer.
She's in the car.
Right. They have she gets knocked out in the first second. She gets space whatever or time.
Well, they have to,
time madness.
They have to put her under a little bit. No, there's no time madness. Doc did it. He gave her a little
thing and puts her under.
Put her out.
Basically, she didn't sign up to be in the movie.
Well, it's different Jennifer than from Back to the Future.
They couldn't see each other, and then it would be a time thing, right? If the old Jennifer and the new Jennifer.
Paradox. You don't want that to happen.
Paradox. So anyway, this is your favorite movie. It is the day they went to. It's also my brother-in-law's birthday, which is kind of fun. So his birthday gifts are all going to be based on Back to the Future. I don't think he listens to the podcast, but I actually got him the Lego DeLorean.
Excellent.
For his birthday.
I'm buying myself a real DeLorean.
You should. But it says literally your favorite movie.
It literally is.
I think it. And now let's talk about it. Is it the first, second, or third movie?
Well, today is Back to the Future Day. Is kind of based on Back to the Future 2.
Right. No, but which one of the three is your favorite?
Oh, well, I go around saying Back to the Future 2 is my favorite, but I think if pressed, I would have to admit that the original is the best of the three movies. But I quite enjoy Back to the Future 2. I think it's because, I really enjoyed as a child seeing the future.
Right. Which you're now living in.
Which I'm now living in, and it's not quite the same.
It is, we didn't figure out fusion generators for turning garbage into...
We're almost there with hoverboards.
We're almost
so
there.
Close.
So, funny rat hole. Well, not even rat hole. So you, myself, my child, my wife, and your wife went to see Back to the Future...
In concert.
In concert at Radio City Music Hall.
Yeah.
Where they had you said it was
the New Jersey Orchestra?
Yep. Play the music as you watch the movie.
They played the score.
They played the score,
They didn't play Huey Lewis on the news.
No, they should have. That would have been fun.
That would have been great.
Doc was there.
Yes.
Yeah.
Strickland was there.
Strickland was there, the principal. So my daughter's seen the movies because we bought them I think this year we bought them and we watched all three of them together. And it was good. They're on iTunes. They were in a pack. You could buy them for $10 or $20.
I have the DVD box set from when they came out.
DVDs. Good for you. But anyway, so we watched them, and so my daughter kind of got in, and then we watched them again. And while she doesn't like some parts of the movie because she's a little sensitive, she likes the idea of science and technology, and so she's got it in her mind now that she's going to create a hoverboard. She's like, "Well, it seems so easy."
Well, yeah,
yeah.
It's like Ali G when he goes in to the inventor, and he's like, the inventor's like, "What do you got?" And he's like, "It's a hoverboard," and he's like, "But what is it? How's it work?" He's like, No. I invented the hoverboard. You guys figure out how to make it work. He's like, I invented it.
You invented it. So she's And I started watching Shark Tank with her.
Oh yeah, Shark Tank's great.
Yeah.
I'm in Shark Tank Nation.
I that's a good show for kids because it's kind of
It's also good for adults.
It is good for adults. It's good for kids. Anyway, so she last night brought me in and started to explain her plans.
Oh, was she pitching you?
How was she? Well, she's kind of like, here's how I'm going to do it.
She asked for like $7 for 12%.
Like, no, she wasn't doing that. She was like, how much? She was trying to tell me how she was going to build it. Now, here's the issue is that I am not a good enough father that I can kind of just totally play along and be like, you're going to be great, and that'll definitely work. So I tried to do that, and I tried to mix it with that's a great way. That's a great design. Have you thought of these things?
Were you Mr. Wonderful?
I was not Mr. Wonderful. I wasn't as bad as Mr. Wonderful. But I was saying like, okay, so, but you've measured, you have the weight of X and the weight of Y, and you have your weight. Have you factored in the weight of the magnets? Oh no, I didn't factor in the weight of the magnets.
Wait a minute. Are you giving away what her product is?
Yeah, I mean,
don't give away her product.
Magnet based.
Magnet-based hoverboard?
Like people have tried this. I mean, you've seen the one that is magnet-based, and it kind of works. It has to be like...
Well, there's the one that... what's the car manufacturer?
Yeah, I don't think anybody's actually really done one, obviously, that works the way it did in the movie.
Nothing hovers, but they've made ones that kind of mimic the hovering experience.
Yes.
They have like one single ball in the middle.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Yeah, you've never seen that one?
And plus, here's the other confusion. She said, I want to invent a hoverboard. And I said, well, the hoverboard's already been invented because that new product with the wheels is called a hoverboard.
That should not be called
No, because it's not hovering over anything. It's wheels.
That's not right. I want to try one of those.
What? Those
hoverboard, whatever.
They're on sale for everywhere. I'm like, whatever. They seem...
I want to try one.
I just see
Are they
people around
dangerous?
Them. I don't know. They look dumb. Sorry, but they just...
I got to try that, though. Have you ever tried a Segway?
I have never tried.
Me neither,
Segway.
And it's something I regret because I don't know if they're around anymore.
Yeah, they're around. You can still go to like
a Segway tour somewhere.
Yeah, you can still go to those. Yeah,
that just seems lazy. A Segway tour.
It's
like, oh, you're too lazy to walk. Get on this thing where you think that you want to go forward and it goes forward.
You're not gonna walk. You're gonna definitely go on this.
I want one of these hoverboard things though.
I'm
gonna put that on the holiday list.
You're gonna put that on the holiday list? I don't know how much they are.
Hoverboard.
I
want a hoverboard.
You're very original with your thoughts. All right, so let's get into our podcast. What do you think?
Well, while we're talking about Back to the Future,
yes.
Did you know that today and only today, and for those who listen to this, it may be too late because it might not be published till tomorrow.
Oh yeah, it won't be.
You can get a Back to the Future badge on Trailhead. So you go take any module whatsoever.
Right.
Doesn't even have to be the full trail. You just have to finish like
a module.
Actually, no, it has to be the full like trail. So I just grabbed one that I didn't do that had like 2 modules in it. And it was like intro to admin or something, and I was just like, let me just answer the questions.
Right.
So I just answered the questions and got my badge.
Nice. You get a Back to the Future badge.
Yeah, it was kind of neat.
That is kind of fun.
DeLorean. It was cool.
Oh, that's fun. I will have to do that after this podcast.
Yeah.
You sure it's only for today?
I'm pretty certain it's only for today. You should definitely look for on Twitter the hashtag badge to the future, and you'll see all the people who've gotten their badges, and it's just like it's a DeLorean with the 2 doors up and today's date on it.
Nice.
Pretty neat.
That is kind of fun. I like that they're getting I like that Salesforce is getting so much, kind of like they're getting fun with Trailhead and badges.
Is fun. It should be fun.
Yeah, it is.
Should be fun. You should want to go back and do more of it. That's gamification, isn't it?
Yes, but I mean, there's also like a learning element, but I guess if you can connect the two.
Learning is fundamental.
I'm trying to log in, but I can't log in. So
what
anyway,
are you doing?
I'm trying to go and
Why
do
are you
the
doing this now? We're doing a podcast.
Yeah, whatever.
So that's how much attention you pay.
Sometimes I don't pay any attention to you. It's kind of my thing.
Oh my.
It's what I do.
Oh my. All right, so we have a blog post.
We do. Let's talk about it.
And it's called Why Sales Teams Should Be Excited About Winter 16. So this is part of the Winter 16 series, which is... Nope. There'll be an intermission, though.
Will there?
This next
let me go look at the blog calendar, see what's coming up.
There'll be a little intermission, something having to do with retaining information after passing certification exam.
Oh, and then there's like 4 more.
Yeah, there's lots of winter stuff. Everyone gets to write one.
Yours is coming up, and you don't know what you're going to write about.
Me? I'm not coming up. I just wrote something.
No, but you have one in November that's
it's
blank.
November, man. That's a while.
Yeah.
Anyway, so why sales
about...
teams should be excited about Winter 16? Like all Arkus blog posts about winter, it starts off with the lightning experience.
Lightning!
But this one breaks it out into, and I think this one actually is more logical to talk about lightning, because lightning in its current incarnation is really designed for salespeople. It truly is sales focused. It is not made for the platform apps. I mean, it works, but it's really not for that. It's for salespeople.
Right. It is currently in its current form. So I have 2 fun lightning stories.
Yeah.
Although if you want to talk about the blog post, we can.
I was gonna talk about the blog post just a tad bit.
All right.
And how
arkusinc.com.
Yeah, and how there's the opportunity in lead workspaces versus the other records. We've sort of talked about this a little bit before, but I think that's a neat concept, a thing that you work through a process and collaborate on to move from one place to the next. It should be kind of like a workspace. It's where you're doing things together to move something from point A to point B, as opposed to a referential. What are you rolling your world's largest eye roll?
Yeah, I'm trying to do it so you say it on the podcast. Yeah, I'm again, of all the things that I'm liking about Lightning, and there are definitely things I like about it. There are things that I kind of like. I don't know if they're additive or not. There's some things I feel like are just changes for change's sake. But anyway, I will two fun stories. All right, you done with your accounting insights, quick hits, fun stuff?
It was really the list view thing that I was gonna talk about. But
board view is very cool. It's cool. It needs some more, but I like it as a concept. It's fun to look at. And that's part of my story. I was demoing Lightning the other day to a client.
Yeah.
So, because they had it in their... What?
Warning.
What?
Warning.
Warning what?
If I demo that to a client, I'm going to put Safe Harbor up.
Well, they were admins, and they're in a very service-sided... Well, so here's why. So
I'm going to be like, Safe Harbor. And they're going to be like, what are you talking about?
That's it.
It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter. Just hear what I'm saying. So there's 2 things. One is that... interesting, and I'd love to know the history of why this happened. But if you're a Service Cloud user on the Service Console, it's the one place where you didn't get to choose to go to Lightning. You went to Lightning. Kind of weird. It's one of the. It's and I was thinking about it. I was like, okay, well, why'd they do that? So why out of that? And the thing is, the whole console goes to Lightning. Now, of course, it's not that big of a change. It does look like a little bit of a change to the UI. The icons are different. The search, but it is truly Lightning. So they hard forced all Service consoles into Lightning. I thought that was strange because it seems like a very anti or not.
I'm going to go ahead and agree. That is a little strange.
But when you click on an account or a case, you go right to the regular page. But the list views are Lightning list views. But not the board list. So it's like this weird mix. So that's why they came up in the conversation. They said, well, why did this happen to me? Why is it happening to me? Why?
Well, you got struck by lightning and got sent back to 1885.
And I said,
you're now a blacksmith in the Old West.
I said, basically, I think it has something to do with your the Lightning experience. And yeah, that's a good crossover. I like
Thanks,
it.
bud.
I said, well, I think it's probably something to do with the architecture of the console, that it's somehow that they couldn't keep it the old way, or that the change was so minor that they just figured they'd just do it. Anyway, so then they said, well, is this the Lightning? Am I in Lightning? I don't understand. Am I in the Lightning experience or I'm not? I see it in setup, but I don't know if I'm in it because I know I have it because it's in Service Console. I didn't get to pick it. So is it on? So they couldn't get their heads around, well, is it on or not? Because I have it, but I haven't turned it on.
Was it on or not?
Well, that's the thing. It wasn't on, But they had it because they had it in the console, which is the confusing
So
part.
what happened when you turned it on?
So then in their sandbox, I said, let's go look at what let me show you what the true lightning experience is.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, hoo-ha-la. And so then I showed them, and it was interesting because it's the first time I've demoed it to person. I've actually said, let me show you what's kind of cool. And I was trying to think, well, what are the 5, the 3 or 4, I think I have 3 things that are kind of different, and just to see how they reacted. So I showed them. First thing I showed them the homepage. They're like, okay, that's cool. I mean, obviously the navigation, like that's the first thing. And then they go, oh, but where's cases? And I go,
It's at the very bottom.
And I said, you can't customize that, so you guys aren't going to use it for a while. And they're like, okay. So then I said, oh, on the homepage. And they're like, oh, I like some of that. And I'm like, okay. So then I showed them
all those sales goals at the top really made sense to that services organization.
But it was more just the layout was kind of cool looking. And then I showed them dashboards. And I went to one of their dashboards. It was a full sandbox. And I went to edit it. And I said, warning, Will Robertson, warning, don't go above 8 miles an hour, and don't change this to a lightning dashboard, because it then is a lightning dashboard and cannot go back. And they said, oh, okay, I get it. So I said, you probably want to clone it and create. And then I took a dashboard element and I made it huge, like across the top. And I dragged another one and I made it like longer. And I showed them how it worked, and they were like, wow, okay, they got kind of excited. And then I showed them board view, list view boards, and I showed them the inline charts, and they were like, oh, that looks great. And I showed them with cases, so they're kind of interested. And then I showed them sales path. And I said, well, so safe harbor. You see how this is a sales path, and you can imagine you go into your time machine and go to the future, that there could be a service path.
I often get into my time machine and go to the future.
That's right.
And I've yet to see this.
You can see a service path. I made it up, but I'm thinking this is something that might be in the future. Service path that does the same technology but with services. So then they kind of okay. Anyway, it was interesting. It was interesting to show them. And then they said, well, what do you think? And I said, I think it's a good start. I think it's neat. I think you're going to have to wait a bit to really turn this on. Although they are in the actual beginnings of like they're just launched. So they actually could turn it on, because it's kind of like no one really knows any better.
No one's working outside the console anyway. So what's the difference? Did the console, when you turned it on, did the record details look different inside the console?
I don't know, because we didn't do that.
How could you not have done that?
Because we did it in reverse
order.
How
is that not the one thing that you actually did?
Yeah, I'll do it right now.
Can you do that for me? I'm really curious. So
I know what you're asking me to do. You're saying turn on lightning for me, go into the console and click on the record details and see if they look like lightning.
Well, the lightning
or not.
should already be on, because you're going back into that.
Well, I have to have it on for me, though.
Oh, for you.
Right, because I have it as permission set.
Turn it on.
Okay, so
lightning, go now.
Let's go out to this and see if I'm still in lightning. I'm not, so let's switch to lightning.
Do it. This is invigorating.
Nope, sorry, I'm in.
Come on,
I'm in production. Let's go.
Well, you're really.
I'm going to get
fire right now.
Clicking on the. All right, so let's go, because that's why I was like, oh, why can't I get to lightning?
You're fired.
I am so fired.
You're fired.
Okay. So I need to do the lightning. I have that as a thing. I can switch to it.
I'm moving around the table.
Yeah.
I'm bringing my mic with me. Oh, look at this.
Yeah.
It's lightning experience. Okay. It's on.
They turned it off.
They turned it off. Well, we're going to turn it back on.
We're going to turn it back on.
We're going to turn it back on for you. Thanks.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
All right, so let's go.
Right.
I just want to go out here, grab to make sure I'm fully in.
Yeah, you're lightning, baby.
I'm in lightning.
Look at you.
All right. So
Look
now
at you,
let's
lightning.
go to the console.
Look at you, console.
Now I'm in the console. So this is what you get whether you want to or not. Yeah, well, that's the people are messing around. This is great.
What
experience.
is that?
That's because they're messing around with some stuff.
Oh, all right.
And so this is a sandbox, so people are messing around with stuff. All right, so I go to a detail.
Yeah, the buttons changed and stuff.
That's all stuff that's all the same stuff.
Oh, well,
How
about we click on a record?
Yeah. I'm trying to get to a record. I'm on a record here, but I'm trying to get to
Yeah, it looks not so lightning-y.
Yeah, I can't
sort
tell.
Of lightning-y?
Wait,
No, not lightning-y at all.
No, it's not Lightning.
No, it's not. So in the console,
If I'm in Lightning,
the icons have changed.
Yep.
But nothing much else. Weird.
So yeah, because this is oof. That's even oof.
We're gonna have to turn that off.
They
started playing around with it, I bet, and they're like, "Yeah, we need to turn this off."
This is not oof.
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 All right, let's move on. Which is kind of my whole experience with Lightning. Oof.
Move on.
All right, so that's
moving right along.
Was there more to talk about?
I think we were gonna just give our chit chat on Lightning, but I feel like over the last 2 weeks we've given enough like little tidbits of how we feel, our interactions.
Do you know what's for sale next week? And can be picked up next week? Apple TV. New Apple TV.
Yeah. I'll be getting one.
I know what I'm picking this week.
I'll be getting one for my birthday.
Oh, nice. That was like a month ago.
Yeah, but it wasn't available. So
Whatever.
It was like, when this is available, you'll be getting one of these. So don't go buy it yourself was kind of the message.
Yeah.
It was like I know you're going to go buy this, so don't.
Other things that came out, I'm just randomizing now. The new Apple keyboard, mouse, and trackpad. Have you seen those?
I've heard of them.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them.
I haven't played with one yet, but basically the big change is that the trackpad now has Force Touch in it.
Mm-hmm.
The keyboard is now based on the new double, like whatever that butterfly keyboard thing is.
Haptic thingy.
Built-in batteries, no more swapping the batteries out. Chargeable off of Lightning. Wow, we're always back to Lightning connector. And the mouse will last a month, chargeable off Lightning. But if you plug it in for 2 minutes, you can get a day. So if it's running low, you just plug it in for 2 minutes, then you'll have at least 8 hours to then use it, and then you can plug it in overnight.
That's nice.
It sounded like it scrolled nice. I've read some reviews. It's a little pricey. They're like $79 and $129 or something.
Much.
I think I'm going to go for I want to go test to see if I like the keys because...
Too much.
Really?
That's a lot of money for a keyboard and a mouse.
No. My mouse at home is dying, and it constantly disconnects and connects.
Yeah, these mice that Apple makes are not
because
good.
It's Bluetooth 3, and this is Bluetooth 4, which is low power, and it's supposed to have much better connectivity. So it's not good. I've used them for years. They just get abused, and they stop working. But I think I might want to try them.
I'm going back to, like, the scroller ball.
You're going to go back to scroll, like the partner shall not be named?
Going old school.
Where he has the IR-based...
yeah, I'm going old school.
He travels around with a damn mouse in his pocket.
Well, why shouldn't you have a mouse in your pocket?
Mickey.
2 things you should have in your pocket. A hot dog and a mouse.
Pocket dog.
All right, let's get to some picks.
Wow. By the way, Justin's about to fall asleep here in the studio.
I'm leaning my head on the microphone.
Poor guy. All right. So, yeah, let's get to some picks. We talked about some Lightning fun. We don't really have a lot to talk about. But we'll, yeah.
So, I have a crappy pick.
Yep. Well, at least you know it.
It's a terrible game. But I'm going to pick it anyway.
Okay.
Tap to the Future.
Oh, jeez.
I had to pick something Back to the Future related, and Time Machine hasn't been invented yet, as far as I
Capsule.
No, Tap to the Future. It's free. It's from this Baptiste Dejean, whatever. You get it on your iOS. It's a silly game. You're the DeLorean, and you're like tap it, and you just have to like navigate through a world, but it's really hard. It's like almost impossible. It's terrible, actually.
So why'd you pick it?
Because I wanted to do a Back to the Future pick. So that's why.
All right. I'm going to pick something that it's kind of a repick, but not really. So you and I are both fans of streaming TV. You're too far away from the mic now. Now he's like literally not doing it anymore.
I'm sitting back.
He is the worst podcaster.
Sitting back, relaxing.
We're both fans of streaming TV.
Yes, we are.
We're both fans of TiVo. We both have TiVo.
We both do.
And we can record a lot of stuff. And we're both fans of Netflix and iTunes and Amazon Instant Video. So I'm huge into streaming. Let's just say that. But I'm I've liked Hulu. I'll say liked. I had a like relationship with Hulu. You know, I like that you can watch shows that have come out immediately. I like that it has, you know, that it's on all the devices. It's on all the places and Apple devices and whatever. You can watch it. But I've really always hated about it is the commercials. The commercials have really felt terrible. It felt like I'm paying for a service, but I'm getting commercials. And they have commercials at the beginning. And the worst example was I like Saturday Night Live. And I would go to the gym and I'd watch Saturday Night Live because it's a good hour and whatever. And so you could watch the whole thing and it's light and whatever. But they must have had 10 or 15 commercials in this show. And it felt like just, you hit a commercial and you have like 2.5 minutes of commercials and whatever. So when Hulu came out with Hulu commercial free, which is their sort of upgrade, you know, it's Hulu up. So it goes from $7.99 a month to I think $11.99 a month. I was like, I'm going to give it a shot. I will tell you, here's the way I explain it to people. It makes Hulu into HBO Go because it turns it from being something that's like, I kind of like to watch stuff on that to, I only want to watch it there. Like, I'd rather watch it there than TiVo it because TiVo has stuff to deal with commercials. But like the Muppets, the new Muppets show, which is,
I quite enjoy it.
It's okay. But like it's on Hulu Plus. So I can go in and see it without commercials. Or The Voice. My daughter's big into The Voice now. She loves the show The Voice. I'm a big fan of Blake, Team Blake, and Gwen Stefani. I mean, I'm a big fan of Gwen Stefani. Hope that didn't come across as creepy. Probably did. So, but you can watch a 2-hour episode, no commercials. And I said, okay, well, it's $4 more, right? That's the math, I think. I was like, is it worth it? I did the math on like how much time I'm saving from not watching commercials. It is very worth it. It is a huge time server. Daily Show, Nightly, Voice, Muppets, Shark Tank, all on Hulu Plus. Plus, they're starting to pick up things like The Mindy Project, only on Hulu Plus. Saturday Night Live, like you can see the whole thing uninterrupted, no commercials. It's worth it. I mean, I know it's kind of crazy to pay more to not see commercials, but it's really worth it. So if you're give it a shot. I watch Hulu almost every day. So it's like it's totally worth it. But there's something about being commercial free that just is such a nice experience, and it makes it better than I now flip to Apple TV to go watch these shows instead of TiVoing them because it's like I don't want to TiVo them. TiVoing's terrible. I don't want to have to fast forward through all that stuff. I want just to play and hit go and go for it. All right, so that's Hulu. So it's $11.99 a month. You can upgrade within the app. I think you just click a button that says okay. Try it for a month. I think it's pretty cool. Anyway, Justin, you haven't tried it yet? Because you don't own the subscription. That's why.
Hulu?
Yeah.
We have a subscription.
No, but you don't own the subscription is what I said.
It's under my wife. It's hers.
It's hers.
Well, I mean, it's ours, but yeah.
Right. But in other words, it's like she kind of maintains it.
Yeah, it's on her
credit
billing cycle.
Billing cycle. Yeah. Okay. Is that a monthly? Is it a bi-monthly cycle?
I have no idea.
It goes credit card. All right. So that's it for this week. I have a topic for next week. Since you threw off my travel, what do you like about this topic? You like this topic?
Yeah. I feel like lots of people have done that already, but we'll do it. Sure.
Okay. I'm writing in here so you'll get it. So, there's been a new craze. I think I predicted this 4 years ago in one of my predictions. I said there's going to be something come out and kill email. Well, it still hasn't come true. But there's been a lot of talk about this new Slack, which is a kind of an email replacement. It's kind of a lot of things. So I thought maybe we'd just do a whole podcast on Slack. What it is, the hype, the reality, the fun, what's it good for. We've been using it now. You've been using it for, I think, almost like 4 or 5 months. We've been using it for 2 or 3 months. I think we should do like a whole episode on Slack and all the fun and greatness and whatever and all the things we'd like to see in it. So I think we're going to do that next time. A special episode on Slack. So we'll be back. Follow at Just Edelstein. Follow at Jason M. Atwood. Follow at Arkus Inc. Facebook.com/Arkus Inc. Hit us up in the Success Community and Power of Us Hub group. So if you're in the Power of Us Hub, remember we have a CloudFocus Weekly group in there. If you don't want to go mingle with those success people, you just want to stay in the power, only have power, Power of Us Hub. Stay there. We're also on LinkedIn, Google+. And remember to please subscribe and review in iTunes and Stitchers. And we'll be back next week. Justin and Jason saying enjoy those cloudy days.